So this is Zeus, my $8,500 supercomputer, and right now it's generating me over $48,000 a month and growing quickly. See, while everyone's out there buying Mac minis and paying hundreds a month for cloud servers, the founders who are going to dominate in 2026 and definitely beyond need to build machines like this. And I'm talking about running your entire business infrastructure, email verification, AI models, automation hosting, millions of rows in lead databases, all hosted on a single machine, sitting in your office with no monthly expenses. Now, by the end of this video, you're gonna be ordering parts on Amazon, sitting there waiting for them to arrive like a kid on Christmas. Now, let me tell you how I got here. About 2 years ago, I was running pretty much everything on cloud servers, DigitalOcean, Droplets, AWS, and it worked pretty well for a while. I was running NANet on there, hosting my websites on there, but then we started scaling and AI got a whole lot more useful. I went from verifying, a few thousand emails a day to now we're verifying hundreds of thousands of emails per day. I went from running 2 or 3 N8N instances with a few different automations on them to now we're running tens of N8N instances with my main ones doing millions of executions per month. And every time I scaled, my cloud costs went up every single month. At one point, I remember paying $1,200 in a single month just to host my website. Now, some of you are probably thinking, just get a Mac Mini or a Mac Studio. After all, those videos have millions of views. But here's the thing that most people don't think about. Even a Mac Mini M4 Pro, you get 24 gigs of RAM, 100 gigs of storage for $1,500, and that's great for personal use. It's great for development. It's great for running your Claude bot. But when you're running an entire enterprise level software, you're verifying hundreds of thousands of emails per day, you're using N8N to execute autonomously throughout the day to do really heavy lifts. You're running it for clients, you're running it for colleagues, or you're hosting your own robust software with millions of data points that it has to go through. And you want to save money on AI costs. Maybe you're paying OpenAI or Anthropic tons of money every month and you want to run your own AI locally. You need different hardware. There's not a Mac model in the world that can match what Zeus, my supercomputer, does. And stitching together systems just adds complexity. You want a system that's all integrated into one that you can upgrade as needed. So here's why you need to do what I did. You need to build a single machine, a single operating system, one network configuration, 128 gigs of RAM, 14 terabytes of storage, 16 cores, 32 threads, and everything in one place. So here I'm going to show you exactly what Zeus is running right now, because this isn't theoretical. This machine is generating revenue for me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I'm gonna show you exactly how to build it and the real use cases that you're going to hear and be like, holy poop. If I were to have this in my business, what would that unlock? How could I make money with this thing? How much money could I save with this thing? You're gonna learn all of that right here in this video. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name's Lead Gen J. I run the biggest community online for B2B lead generation and AI automation. And between my companies, we have over 100 employees and we do well over 10 million a year. Now let's talk about Zeus. Probably the most valuable thing that Zeus, my supercomputer, does is running open source software. So what is open source software? I had no idea about because I'm not that technical. I'm not a developer. I was introduced to this world by my colleague Michael, who's been building systems with me for over a year now. He's been building computers since he was a kid. He's the one who actually put me onto this idea. He came over, helped me order the parts, helped me assemble this thing and get it working. I had no idea that a lot of the applications that you probably pay for, I'm talking about Google Map scrapers, email verification tools, there's open source versions of all of these things. And if you learned about what else you could just download and start running without having to pay for it, your mind would be blown. In fact, you could just go on the Docker marketplace right now and see what other open source tools are out there that you can just download and start using without paying. I'm talking about a bunch of different AI models, Crunchbase scrapers, YouTube scrapers. There's scrapers for just about everything and open source tools for just about everything. If you use Vercel, like I do, to bring your Claude Code applications to life and to the internet, you don't need to pay them. Coolio is a replacement for Vercel. So whatever's in your current tech stack, softwares that you're paying for, there's probably a pretty good open source version for it. And you can run all of those things on your home server. And you can use Claude Code, install it on your home server, and now you can configure the entire thing have it access that server, download applications, launch applications. It's absolutely incredible. So let me just kind of share. This is the back end of Zeus. Now it's not pretty like an Apple computer, but I'm going to show you around a little bit. We've got all of these applications in the middle. These are Docker containers. These are these open source applications that are running. Whole bunch of different WordPress sites, N8N instances, and things that you probably haven't heard of before, but are basically free applications, free software that you can download and run. Coolify, Gmap scrapers, lots of different unbelievable things on here. And we're running this on something called Unraid, which is something that you load on to your server, and this is like your user interface. This is your like Mac OS, but for the server. Now the great thing is you're never gonna actually be logged into this. My server right now is sitting in my living room right now, plugged into a surge protector with no monitor, no keyboard, nothing. It just runs 24/7. And if I ever want to access it, I just do it in my browser. I just connect to Zeus.local, and because I'm on the same network, I can just remote into Zeus anytime. I can also SSH into Zeus. So if I ever want to access it from, say, Claude Code, I can just tell Claude to SSH into Zeus and control it. Do whatever I want in there. My Claude bot is also connected to Zeus. So if I tell Bob, hey, go into Zeus and do this, it will do it without me asking. Now it's got a ton of power, and I can assign different power to different apps, different Dockers, and just take a look at this. If I want to come and add new applications, I can just come into apps. There's an app store where you can download things and see what's available, what's open source. And if you're ever wondering, because this isn't that pretty, literally just download ClaudeBot or install Claude Code on this thing and ask it to do research and download it for you. It will configure it, it will get it working. The reason this was so inaccessible before is because it's ugly, it's hard to use. This isn't Mac. So if you are non-technical like me and you want to build something like this, now is the best time because you don't need to be technical. You have Claude Code. It'll do everything for you. Now let me just show you some examples of applications that we have running on Zeus right now that are making me tons of money. Let me show you this. So this is my N8N instance. Now the N8N also running on Zeus. It's running a ton of executions every day, really heavy, powerful executions. So let's come into my Google Maps scraper. Now this is being coordinated, orchestrated, as you can see here, by N8N. So every 15 minutes, I think, it runs this orchestrator. And check this out. Yeah, it's running right now. Takes about 3 to 4 minutes per run. And this is running on Zeus. So it's checking if it's already running, but here, start scrape job. It's connecting directly to Zeus's IP address, starting the scraper on Zeus, and then checks if it's done, grabs the scrape results, and adds them into Zeus's Postgres. This is running nonstop for free. I've got a free Google Maps scraper running 24/7, scraping all of the Google Maps data. This step here, after we've scraped all of Google Maps, we have to find the owner of that Google Maps company. If I were to do this and pay OpenAI to run each record through AI to get results, that's like 15 million local businesses. It would cost me a fortune. We've got AI models, Ollama, running directly on Zeus. So because I host my own AI models, now I can do AI image generation, AI image analysis, I can do text AI, and it's all running locally on that system, and it is unbelievably good. Usually it's the version right before OpenAI's now on like 5.3 or something like that. A lot of times they're like 5.0 is going to be available open source. So you can download this and never have to pay AI companies again for really simple stuff. A lot of it is now running on Zeus, so I don't have to spend money there anymore. Consulti AI, we have an email verification system running on Zeus. So we installed an open source tool called Reacher. And now twice a day, this automation is going to run, and it's going to verify hundreds of thousands of email addresses in Zeus. I think this one did 200,000 emails in this run. Just absolutely incredible, super heavy automations, super powerful. And all of that verification, all of that computing power is only possible because this Reacher API is open source and downloaded in Zeus. If I were to pay for this, if I were to pay Million Verify or another company for this, it would cost me thousands of dollars a day just to run this thing. So these are just some examples of how we're using Zeus to make tons of money. And just to show you, here are some of the Docker containers that are running, and you'll see Coolify. This is the replacement for Vercel. Here's the Google Maps scraper. Here's my AI local model, open web. Actually, I think I can actually come in here and access the web version of it too. So let's see, web UI. Yeah, here we go, sign into the web UI. I never use it like this. I'm always API requesting in it, but I can access it on the web too, just like you talk to ChatGPT, although you probably never need to. I've got instantly cold email automations in here. I've got lots of different WordPress sites in here. I've got lots of different scrapers in here. Postgres database. This is the ones that can hold millions of leads. And because of how powerful this system is, it's fast, it's lightning fast. So if you were to try and do any of this stuff with a virtual server, it would just crash with the level of compute power that's required for some of these things. Now, by the way, guys, if you want to learn how I set up some of this stuff, how I built my own email verification server, installed it, I actually have a video that I did recently on it. I don't even gatekeep that information. It's totally free. It's going to be on the screen or down in the description somewhere so that you can learn how I set up Reacher and built my own free email verification system. Now, why this is so exciting now, and probably the reason that you're already the most excited, is the local AI models. We're running Ollama plus Open Web UI on Zeus, and I kind of just showed you that, but that gives me and my team a completely free ChatGPT Claude alternative, and it can run DeepSeek, Llama, Mistral, lots of different really powerful models with 0 subscriptions and no API costs. And if you're worried about security, now you're not sharing data with other networks with OpenAI. It's all contained in your server. And with 128 gigs of RAM, which we have on Zeus, and 16 cores, these models run insanely fast. Now, am I saying that you can just build the server and you don't need Claude or ChatGPT anymore? No. For cutting edge, high reasoning tasks, you still want the best models. I'm not building full apps using Ollama. I'm using Claude Code and I pay them a lot of money for it. However, 80% of my daily AI tasks that are running in N8N really don't need the latest and greatest model. The ones that are summarizing things or doing some cold email personalization. Do you really need Opus 4.6 for that? Not really. You can use the local models and never have to pay those AI costs. I was literally paying probably $800 to $1,500 per month across all the different AI models. Once I implemented this, it cut my cost like 80%. So what about N8N? A lot of times you're doing some pretty heavy automations. At least I know I was. And I was paying this virtual server. I kept upgrading and upgrading and upgrading because it was getting slower and slower the more automations I built and the more workflows and executions that it was doing. Eventually, I transitioned everything in it to Zeus, and I gave it all of the power that it could possibly handle. And I actually asked Claude Code to speed up my N8N in every way possible, and it did. It auto updates every day with the latest models. It backs it up every day, all from Zeus. And as part of my high ticket AI automation offer, we actually run N8N for our clients. So it actually helps me make money getting people onto my high ticket offer because I'm able to offer that unbelievable additional service. Now, I'm sure all of this is sounding really impressive, but we're just scratching the surface. We're running if you've seen Built With, the things that scrape different websites and see what tech stacks they're using, we're running an open source version of that. We're running an open source cybersecurity audit system that will do penetration testing on your website so that we can have an unbelievable lead magnet for our cybersecurity clients. Literally, I can't even stress this enough. You'll be shocked at what is open source and what you can run and turn into an offer or turn into a SaaS product. Now, another really cool use case for Zeus, I don't know how many of you pay extra storage for Google Drive or for Dropbox, but Zeus has tens of terabytes of hard drive space, and you can literally just add more space by sliding in a disk. It's not like a Mac where you have to change your whole Mac to get more hard drive space. All of my storage space is on Zeus, and it's accessible from anywhere in the house. If you're used to uploading content to Dropbox or to Google Drive or some other cloud service provider, I don't need any of that anymore. Anytime I want to access Zeus or upload things to Zeus, I can access it from anywhere in my home network. Let me show you how easy this is. So this is my Finder window. If I come into my network, here's Zeus, he's accessible anywhere. Data, this is all folders that I can access from any computer in my house. All of it is stored on Zeus. And if I want to put a video in there, if I want to put an entire application on there, this GitHub folder, this is where I store all of my applications. It's a lot of space and I can access them anytime. No more cloud, literally no more cloud costs, Dropbox, Google Drive. All of the files gets backed up to Zeus. You drag it in there and it's way faster than it would be uploading it to a Google Drive or a Dropbox. And probably worth mentioning, as somebody who has lots of businesses and I've been collecting websites over the years, you end up paying like WordPress and all of these different cloud providers, $50 to $100 a month to host your websites. None of that anymore. You host WordPress on your server. You have Coolify on your server to host your applications. And now you have no more hosting costs. Full control. You have your Claude bot and your Claude Code to help configure everything, make sure it's all working correctly, and then you never have to worry again. But let me talk about why this matters so much beyond just what I showed you and what I'm doing today. Because the real argument for building your own server isn't just about saving money on cloud costs. It's about preparing for the future and getting ready for a world where AI dominates everything. AI models are getting bigger, they're getting more powerful, more capable, and the trend is clearly moving towards local inference. Every major company, Apple, Meta, Google, they're all pushing to run models on their hardware. Why? It's faster, it's private, and it's cheaper at scale. See, right now I can run 70 billion parameter models on Zeus. A year from now, the models that are state-of-the-art today are all gonna be running on hardware like this. 2 years from now, you're gonna need local compute just to keep up with what everybody else is doing. You won't run the latest open source models on some VPS with 8 gigs of RAM. You're not gonna be able to run them on a Mac Mini with 24 gigs. You need serious hardware. And if you wanna do things at scale like I'm doing, like scraping all of Google Maps or scraping every podcaster and enriching all of it, then there's really only one way to do it, and that's building your own at-home supercomputer. Now the fun part. I'm gonna show you exactly what to build, what to install, and how to put it all together. So I have to thank Michael for helping me with this product list, but I've got a nice Amazon storefront with everything that I bought that goes into Zeus. It's gonna be for free down below. Just go ahead and click to access this Amazon storefront link. This is literally imported from my orders. And if you total the price, it should add up to around 850 or 8,500. Now there's some things on here that may have changed in price or might not be available, so you might just need to find some alternatives. The most important and expensive piece, as expected, is this NVIDIA GPU. I think they've gotten more expensive. As you can see, I actually purchased this thing, but you will need this to run the latest AI models. So I would really emphasize don't cheap out on this, because if you cheap out, you're not going to get the product that you need. So this is going to be your parts list. Now I also put together a installation guide on exactly how to set it all up. And this is going to have like images and guides on how to put every piece together as well. So make sure that you check this out. It's going to be in the description. Now just kind of running through what's on Zeus. We've got the CPU. This is the AMD Ryzen 9. This is what's going to give you all of the cores. We've got 128 gigs of RAM in here. We've got 14 terabytes of storage. We've got this NVIDIA GPU, the 5090. This is one of the latest models. And putting it together does become a little bit complicated, especially if you're doing it yourself and for the first time. So I definitely emphasize that you want to go here and download this parts list and the step-by-step instructions on how to put it all together. Now, if you were to buy a pre-built server, because that's your alternative, right? Instead of like a Mac Studio, what if you were to just get like someone to pre-build this for you and customize it for you? If you're really rich, you can think about doing that. I wanted the challenge and I wanted to do this with Michael, who's been building these for a long time on my team. But you might be able to find one of these like pre-built for you that has all of the specs that you're gonna need. You're probably gonna end up paying around $20,000 for something of this power that's pre-built. But it was a lot of fun building it yourself and trying to get it online. So I definitely recommend trying this. I think it's gonna be a really cool skill and something that you have for the rest of your life. And it's something that you built. So once it's running, it's like, oh my God, I put all these pieces together and it's actually working. And it actually wasn't that hard to do. It took less than a day. It was kind of like solving a puzzle and it was a lot of fun. Now here's what I want you to do next. I put together the Amazon storefront with the exact parts that I used to build Zeus. Same CPU, same RAM, same drive, same case, everything. It will work. The link is in the description. You can literally order the same build today. Second, you're gonna want the step-by-step guide on how to put this all together. So all of the applications that you're going to need, all of the assemblies, make sure that you grab that guide as well. It's gonna be in the description. And I am gonna work on putting together like a step-by-step video module on how to assemble and set up your own Zeus. And don't call it Zeus, that's my name. So make sure to join the AI Automation Insiders to always get the latest on stuff like that. And as well as the other cutting edge stuff that I'm doing that I don't put on YouTube. And believe me, there's plenty of it. Inside of that community, we've got over 3,000 members now. You can join it for free right now too. It's going to be down in the description. It's a school community, AI Automation Insiders, done for you N8N templates, Claude Code workflows. Definitely recommend joining. It is the place to be on the cutting edge of AI automation, Claude Code, and doing stuff like this. Now, I do want to hear from you. Drop a comment. Let me know. Is this helpful? Are you planning on building your own supercomputer? Have you already done it? Maybe I made a mistake or you did something better. I'd love to know about it. Drop a comment. Let me know. Let me know what you're running on yours. Let me know what you want to install. Maybe it's something I didn't even mention and I want to know about. Let me know in the comments. I read everyone, and I will tell you if your use case makes sense, and we can talk about it and have some fun. Now, if you haven't already seen my video on setting up your own email verification server with Reacher for free, it's probably the next best thing you should watch. It goes hand in hand with this, so make sure to click somewhere on this video to watch it and join the AIA Insiders down below. Hit subscribe if this was helpful. Hit the like button if you like what you see, and I'll see you in the next one.